Oh, ladies and gentlemen, that's right. It's about that time for Bits and Bytes. That's right. All things consumable from all the places you want to be. That's right. United States edition, baby. You know what that means? That means one thing. All 50 states in all the 50 weeks. And if you're playing along at home, you know we're on week 42. And what does that mean? Do your alphabets. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, Texas! Texas, welcome to the big stage! Texas, here you are. Oh, your hat went down. Oh, that's right, don't forget the hat. We got the Stetson out, baby. Welcome to the show, everybody. Bits and Bytes, Texas is here, per usual. We got the flag behind us over here. Let's take a look at this bad boy. Very similar to Tennessee, almost. Last time, if we remember, you know, it's got a star, we got some colors, but here we are. We're here. I got my Texas gear on. I got my special buds so I can wear my hat. Yeehaw, partner. That's what we say, isn't it? I think so. Everything's bigger in Texas. So this is a supersized show tonight. I feel like that's just something you're supposed to say. I don't know how supersized it is, but we got to go with it. Yes, hello, chat. Ha! Yes, everybody, thank you for joining. This is week 42. Bits and Bytes. Texas is here. We have a special guest caller calling up in a little bit. What time is it? A half hour or so. I have a special guest calling from Texas. Sound very strange in my ears because I'm not wearing the normal headset here. I got the little buds in. But that's okay. Let's get the fast facts up and talk about this weird state. Texas, the Lone Star State, they call it. Statehood in 1845, the 28th state of the Union. Population 27.5 million. Holy shit. Capital's Austin. Is that true? I didn't know Austin was capital. Biggest city, Houston. Abbreviation, TX, which also means send. Ah, yes, another state bird. How lovely. This time it's the old mockingbird. Let's take a look at what this previous reptile looks like. Ah, yes, the mockingbird. I think this is the same picture we used for last time we had the mockingbird. Bringing that up. There it is. This one looks pissed. Why so cranky? Look at that. Ah! Ah! I'm assuming that's the sound a mockingbird makes. But a bird by any other name, you know? And what's the other thing? What's the flower? A old blue bonnet. I didn't know that was a flower. You see, Lizzie, don't ever tell me this is not education. Blue bonnet. There she is. Everyone knows the blue bonnet. No one knows the blue bonnet. No one knows that. It's a brand of ice cream, I think, out here in the East Coast. Look at this thing. There it is. Looking great. What a fantastic blue bonnet it is. Yes. Well, 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 look what the cat dragged in if it isn't Texas. Guys, everyone knows Texas. Let's look at this. Let's look at look at the country here. Let's look at the great country, our great, beautiful, large United States of America. You never knows the big brother down south that's always threatening to get the hell out of town is Texas. What do you got to say about it, Googs? A state in the south central region of the United States at 270 square miles, 270,000 square miles. And with more than 29.1 million residents in 2020, it's the second largest U.S. state by both area and population. Wow. So let's get a gander at what's going on here. Texas, surrounded by some other states. We got New Mexico, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Louisiana that it talks to. And then we got a lot of Mexico border up on there. A lot of talk in the past couple years with the border. There it is. You're looking right at it. Juarez and down. Juarez down out to old Matamoros. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. Oh, what's chat say? We got some good barbecue out there. Hard 8 barbecue at Stephenville. Shout out to them. Chat says they're fucking fantastic. I love that. Fort Worth, Dallas, Houston, Austin, San Antonio. The stars are bright. Deep at night. Is that how it goes? Deep in the heart of Texas? The stars at da-da-dee. I don't know. It's from fucking Pee-wee. You guys remember Pee-wee, right? Remember that guy? Ball? Well, whatever. I'm going to talk about having him. So Texas, there it is. Everyone knows, always willing to secede from the union, always putting it on the table anytime something comes up a little controversial. But here we are. You're still there, aren't you, big boy? We brought in an array of sweet... Well, actually, there's no sweet treats. And some savory boys. We got a nice mix of food here. And just so happens, we got some nice beverages as well. Let's run through what we got here. We'll chat a little bit. Pull that border up there. All right. So let's get it going. First things first. You boys parched already. If I could pick a beer that represents Texas, it is not Shiner Bock. However, in the great state of New Jersey, I can't get my hands on the one true beer that I would consider to be Texas's own. And that would be the great and powerful Lone Star. Shiner Bock, a close second, apparently. They do drink a lot of Shiner out there, so I'm told. We'll have to ask our guest about that. Small town, small brewery. Every drop of Shiner beer is brewed in Shiner, Texas. Show me Shiner, Texas. Where are we at, Shiner? Cheers. Cheers to Texas. Cheers to everybody out there watching. Cheers. Cheers, chat. If you're in the chat, let me know what you're drinking. Let me know if it's Texas-based. Wow, Shiner Bock tastes a lot like if you just made Budweiser a little darker. Not mad at it. I'm not gonna lie. I feel a certain play. I feel like I'm, I kind of feel a little. Maybe it's the hat talking. It could be, but I feel a little like I got a Texas vibe going. I'm just saying. All right, we have some other sweet treats. TITOS handmade vodka. Unanimous double gold winner, baby. Gluten-free, distilled 6 times. You heard it a million times. You know this. Just so happened, I forgot. I almost didn't bring this. I was like, oh, TITOS. Everyone knows TITOS. Well, I believe a worldwide brand at this point. Distilled from 100% corn. I'm sure there's some direct on their website we could look at that tells us stuff. The thing I like about TITOS is it's vodka, as I've said many times on the program, not the most exciting alcohol you could drink because they're all very similar. I know there's a million ways to make it, a million different things you can put in it, but the thing I like about TITOS is they don't have any other products. They go, we got TITOS. That's it. We don't make lemon TITOS. We don't make vodka. We don't make mango TITOS. We make fucking TITOS. End of sentence. Go next. Next. That's what they do. Now, granted, they probably sold out to another company that makes a million other things, but gotta love the TITOS. Gotta have the TITOS. I'm sure everyone down in Austin, is it Austin? Where are you from? Plano? Doesn't even say. Austin, of course. Everything comes out of Austin. Going down the line here. We gotta keep it moving. Going down the line. Texas Pete, hot sauce. You might remember this from showing up, I believe, in our North Carolina episode. But it just seemed right to have it there. I believe we looked up the origin and it had something to do with Texas. So I just put the little fella there. I thought he'd come out. He says Texas on the bottle. He just seems like he wanted to be in the lineup. He's going to go along with the little situation we got over here. Moving down the line, something I picked up quite some time ago and almost forgot about. And I'm very excited to try this. Desert Door Sotol. Texas Sotol. Now, I don't know. I used to know what Sotol is. What mezcal is to tequila, Sotol is to tequila. It's a similar but different thing. Let's look real quick. It's like all Sotol is tequila, tequila is Sotol, something like that. I forget exactly. Is Sotol like tequila? What is Sotol? Sotol is a distillate made from a type of shrub. All right, there's nothing like tequila. Somewhere called a desert spoon. That is in contrast to tequila and mezcal crafted from agave. So this does not use agave. This uses a completely different shrub. and it's super delicious. I just thought it was tequila based because the first time I had it was at a tequila bar. So, look, not an expert, don't know everything. I do love me some Sotol, and I've never had this one. I'm excited to try it. We will get into that. Something else that I had in my fridge, did not even know was from Texas. Austin, Texas' own, a big cocktail they have out there, which we almost made. It's called the Ranch Water. Correct me if I'm wrong, Texas. It's pretty much just tequila, soda, and lime. That's how they roll. They just call it ranch water. They like to be special. Look at these hats. I mean, they're special. Canteen Spirits, lime vodka soda. It's pretty much a knockoff of what I would call a ranch water. I think I bought a mixed pack of these or something for a party and drank all the ranch waters. This was left, so it's cold. We'll get into that. And then over here in the food department, we have a little setup here. Can we do the overhead here? We have a nice little setup here with, obviously, FRITOS. Let's talk about the FRITOS for a second. FRITOS, the Frito-Lay brand in North America, is based in Plano, Texas. So we're just going to go ahead and say FRITOS. And all of the Frito-Lay products, I'll just pull it up. All the Fritos snack life originates from Texas. That's not true. They probably have something in every state, let's be fair. But the Doritos, you like a Dorito? There you go. Everyone loves a Dorito. Everyone loves a Cheeto. Everyone loves a Frito. Everyone loves a Sun chip. The chip that makes believe it's healthy but isn't. Everyone loves I don't know what a baconette is. All right, we're hitting in the second tier here. But you know what I'm saying. The big boys, you know, Lay's, Doritos, Cheetos, Fritos. They're all coming out of the old Plano. All coming out of Texas. And then so, you know, we talk about Texas. We talk about food in Texas. And when I think about that, one of the first places I saw, we could just play this, I think, in the corner here, can't we? One of the first things I remember seeing in Texas about barbecue was the Salt Lick Barbecue. I think I saw years and years and years ago on Food Network somewhere. But Texas barbecue is the thing. Was I going to barbecue up a brisket? Sure. Did I? No. There it is. Look at that fucking glorious pit of barbecue. So I was going to go to a local barbecue place and pick up some brisket and bring it here, but then I realized quickly that any true Texan would probably be disgusted with anything around here that they're calling barbecue and or Texas barbecue. Most of what I got around me is pork. Most of what I got around here does not use oak. A lot of Texas barbecue uses oak. Oak is big and bad in Texas. That's what they use down there. Oak. Post oak, to be specific. Of course, they cut it with some hickory here, some mesquite there when they need to, but the post oak is the bit. That's a big part of the Texas flavor. And beef. I was going to make a nice big steak and just sit here and have it. And I was this close to doing it. Because I do have a wine from Texas, a beautiful red wine. That's right, from Texas. We're going to look into that in a second also, but let's talk about barbecue. Texas barbecue, again, barbecue, very nitpicky. Everyone's got their own version, but I'm pretty sure the definition of Texas barbecue is beef, salt and pepper, and oak. Those are the 4 points that are necessary. Generally speaking, they keep it dry, even though in this video we're watching here, I see that there's some moisture happening. Generally speaking, they keep it dry and keep the sauces on the side for you to decide what to do. Their sauces are a little bit stickier. You know, more of a red type sauce, obviously, than like a yellow sauce, like a Virginia-based, South Virginia, South Carolina style. But they do sauce up down there. They're not anti-sauce like some other barbecue regions. But they're all about beef. They're all about brisket, beef ribs, beef short ribs, low and slow, smoking them out, cutting them down. Franklin's Barbecue, everyone knows that place. That's the super hip. I think they're in Austin. I don't know. You know, place that kind of reinvented the hip barbecue scene wherever he is. Good on that guy. Met that guy once out in Chicago at a dinner he was doing. Fantastic brisket that he makes. I didn't get a chance to try it, but not in Texas. Texas High Plains. This is a wine. Do we want to get into the wine? Wine? So yeah, Texas barbecue's a thing. So again, I was going to get some brisket. Did I get some brisket? I did not get brisket. Any brisket I could find around here would be sad. I could do a mock Texas barbecue, but I just did not have the time or leisure to get into that. That's a whole other episode. But what did I have time to do? Well, lucky you. I did have time. to bust out what they call an old bowl of red. You see, Texas and chili go hand in hand. I told you, they're all about beef. They love their beef down there in Texas. And their chili, everyone thinks chili's a different thing. Everyone's region's got a different kind of chili. But chili in Texas is beef. All beef, nothing but the boof. And no beans. Definitely not a bean to be had in here. Because that's how they roll. I, for one, enjoy beans in my chili. If I was making this for me, am I going to add beans to the rest that's upstairs? Of course. Will there be beans in the chili as I consume this for the remainder of the week? Yes, of course. I'm not a crazy person. I like beans in my chili. In Texas, honestly, I don't know what to stick up your ass about hating beans is, but, you know, to each their own. So anyway, we got this bowl of red here, this chili, which is primarily chuck and pretty much any kind of cuts you want. I'm sure you can use brisket, whatever, and you cook it low and slow with a big blend of chilies, red chilies, you know, generally Mexican-style chilies or any chilies you get your hands on, fresh and dried. Mix it up, make a paste, cook it down, and you know, there's obviously a million iterations of that in between. But this is my version. There's some like it, but this one is mine. So if you can see the consistency of it here, just to show you, you know, it's chunky. It's a lot of beef, yeah? It's super rich. It's aggressively rich in flavor. The chilies are big. It's smoky from the dried chilies I used. It's fantastic. It's very much delicious. Now, something that they do in old Texas town is they make Frito pie. So essentially with Frito pie, if I recall, you would take this entire bag of Fritos, slice it down the middle, rip it open, and then fill this bag up with the treats. I'm not going to waste this whole bag of Fritos. But essentially, we'll make a mock bag on this plate here. Okay. It's almost like Frito nachos, you know? And then you just scoop out. You can see the texture here. See the texture of this buff. You know what I'm saying? Like big hunks of steak in here, big hunks of beef. You know, it's shredded out, but some are shredded, some are not. And then, you know, what I think they do down there is they top it with some cheese. That's what you do. Everything down there is cheese. Actually, they probably, I'm going to guess they would use queso sauce. I hear they love the queso. I've never been to Texas. Did we say that at the beginning? Or I guess I should have quantified. And then I got I think you would use probably raw onions if I had to guess, but since we're in the South Zone, I'm going with green onions. Seems like the right idea. If we were in some other state, I'm going to load up the jalapenos on this because your boy likes it spicy. I feel like I say that every episode now. And there you go. I think that's a Frito pie. I mean, it's not in the bag like it's supposed to be, but I'm pretty sure that's like a Frito pie right there. I'm pretty sure we could call that a Frito pie. A little sour cream, a little crab. Yeah, it's big in Texas, you know, you gotta put it all on there. Ain't no options. Everything's bigger down there, you know? That's what they say, and I think that's it. I think that's a Frito pie. I think we did it. We're gonna have to ask our guest if we hit the Frito pie mark here. But I think we did. They do Frito pie throughout the mid and the Southwest. Yeah, Frito pie is a big thing. I'm just going to go ahead and say that it was originated in Texas. Is that true? Who can say? But I can. I think it, you know, Fritos are from Texas. The chilies from Texas. This is definitely a Texas Frito pie. Frito pie's a thing. They love it down there. Who could say, you know? Yeehaw, baby! I'm going to start wearing a cowboy hat more. I think a cowboy hat is, I think it's a look. Let me get my preview up here. Oh, yeah. That, you wouldn't make that. I'm trying to, like, pose with the flag. I tried a cigarette. I wish I had a cigarette down here. I could just put my mouth. I don't have. But, you know, I feel like a Marlboro man. I got the flannel on, which I didn't even really mean to do. I got the Texas hat. I got the thing. I got the Texas flag. I'm feeling real fucking Texas-y right now. Now? Just saying. So yeah, I don't know. This is Franklin down here. We got let's see. We got some Texas. Maybe we get somebody to chat with us about Texas barbecue. The best barbecue, and also, I mean, there's a million videos about the best barbecue here, the best barbecue there. I think the thing that, you know, after researching a lot about barbecue and stuff, you know, it's all in what you like. I don't think there's definitely a right or a wrong. I mean, there's definitely a right way to do it. You know, there's methods involved, but is there a perfect way? Like, this is the best? It doesn't really work that way. I think it's foolish to look and say this is the best barbecue. This is the best. I mean, you get a brisket that's better than others, but I'm sure the guy who's making that brisket's going to tell you one. You know, so you win some, you fucking lose some, dude. Some days you know, if you're doing brisket right, if you're doing brisket properly, you know, the weather affects the way you cook and the brisket you get and all these things, not just the trimmings and all that. Oh, we should definitely be putting Texas Pete on here. Although I'm not sure what the hot sauce of choice is down in Texas. Like, I'm sure it's not Texas Pete. Maybe it is. I don't know. The Sotol we're going to get into and we're going to drink for sure. Oh, this wine, I want to talk about this real quick. This is a wine I got my hands on. It's from Alston Winery. Now, this is very interesting. I haven't been to their website, but they make some very interesting wines. And one of the things that they are doing down there, Texas Terroir. Looks like they got some. So look at this. I didn't even know they had this. 2018 Hill Country Rosso. Got a lot of stuff. Making Amaros. Here we go. This is the 2020 Spaghetti Western, it's called. Now, this is an interesting thing. I'll give you my rundown of it, and then we'll read actually what they say about it. This is Spaghetti Western from Kubacac Vineyards in Texas High Plains, 2020, Alston Winery. What's cool about this wine and this winery is they took grapes that generally grow in Italy. This is a 95% Sangiovese and 5% Montepulciano. They took Italian grapes and they're growing them in the high plains of Texas, which is very much not the terroir of Italy, yet they're doing it in Texas, and then they're making a Sangiovese out of it, and it's very interesting because it's nothing like an Italian Sangiovese. It's really delicious. It's a fun, tasty wine. I would highly recommend trying it. Let's see what they say. The story of the 2020 vintage is relatively simple and easy here climatically, but stress plants, blah, 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 blah. Yes, yes, yes. Cloves, vanilla, tarragon, root beer, aroma, strawberry, blah, 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 blah. Sure. Easy drinker, friendly, and pleasant. That's for sure. 100% Sangiovese. So this is not the 2020. Okay, so they're lying. This is the Spaghetti Western. This is the Alston Winery. This says 95%, 5%. That says 100%. Okay, well, you know, small business is tough. Why have the internet match what's here? You know, who knows? Bottled only in July, 103 cases produced. Well, I'll tell you, it's really delicious to get your hands on it. You're probably not. Looks like it's sold out at the website also. I'd pop this and drink it with a steak from Texas. I'm not Texas buff. But I don't have any Texas beef on me right now at the moment. Soon. Frito pie. Let's see if we could get a Frito pie check. A brief history of the Frito pie. Well, I don't mind if I do. See how it's in a bag? Oh, you can't because the fucking ad. See how it's in a bag like that? That's the bit. But I couldn't get the little kids-sized Fritos because that's stupid. Why would you do that? Wow, that's looks like they're making a big Frito pie on this one. Look at that. Where's the? Is there a video? Why would there be a video? There we go. Let's see this. Origin of the Frito pie. Here we go. We're learning.
There is, buried deep in
Bourdain.
this ordinary-looking 5 and dime, something truly authentic.
Hi, Frito pie and a soda, please.
This is the Frito pie. As American as apple pie or the Manhattan Project, and nearly as deadly. Canned Hormel chili and day-glow orange cheese-like substance dropped like a deuce another roller in the night right into a bag of Fritos.
It feels like you're holding orange crap in a bag. Close your eyes and I put this in your hand. You would be very worried. Colostomy pie. I'm opposed to everything this dish stands for, and yet it is also delicious.
I mean, I think ours looks...
Neither the Frito nor the Frito pie are indigenous to New Mexico. They are actually Texan. New Mexico, you have many wonderful things. I think let Texas have this one. In only 6 minutes, I've managed to reach a depth of self-loathing.
Let
It usually
Texas
takes a night
have
of drinking.
this one. All
To
right.
achieve, combine the Frito pie experience.
Oh, hello. Hold on.
Binge tequila
All right,
drinking and
Tony, shut your mouth. Let's get on our special guest. Hold up, hold up. Oh, there she is. I think it's working. Can you hear you? Can you see you?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I hear you. I see you. Hello. Say hello and introduce yourself to the planet, please.
You didn't have to stop the video.
No, we
just
did. He
for
already
me.
said this is a Texas invention. We were done. And I don't think you could see it. So,
All right. Yeah. So my name is Ngoc Trin. I'm, speaking of Fritos, I'm a chef at Frito-Lay. So all those new flavors, that's what you're eating.
what a great segue. What a fantastic
great?
segue. It's
I
almost like we set that up. It's unbelievable.
It's seamless.
It's seamless. It was so good.
I even got my bag of Fritos.
You got a Frito. I couldn't find the small bag of Fritos. All I had was the big boy. And I didn't want to ruin it, so I put it all on a big plate.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know if that's sacrilege, if we could still call it.
No. That's proper. That's proper. You can put it like in a paper boat, and that's still pretty.
No, that sounds really vile. So we're talking about Texas, and I don't know, I ran through the Shiner Box. I don't have any Lone Star. Is Lone Star the beer? So you're not from Texas originally, no?
I am.
You are?
Born and raised.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
am.
Well, yeehaw,
Yeah.
Okay, so
Usually we'd say howdy.
oh, howdy. I don't know.
Howdy, y'all.
Howdy, y'all. I just got the hat on, so I'm just assuming I'm saying things properly. So let me look at the map here. All right, so I'm going to ask you what I asked everybody about how to break it down, because you could actually answer this. So like I say, in New Jersey, we break it down in like 3 ways. There's North, Central, and South Jersey, right? North Jersey, a little closer to the city, faster kind of vibes and all that. Central Jersey is, a mix of shore towns and people from the north coming down. And South Jersey is like a nice, pleasant blend of Atlantic City and Philadelphia, kind of like how, looking at Texas, like just at the map, I don't even know how you break this up. It looks like you got Dallas and you got like a highway with a couple of the cities and then just everything else. But how would you break it up as a native Texan?
Oh, yeah. So Texas, wingtip to wingtip is the biggest state in the mainland United States. So we're pretty proud of having like all the different regions. And I live in what we call North Texas, which is basically Dallas and anything in that sort of like closer to Oklahoma area.
Right.
You were just talking about the high plains.
Yes.
We actually call it the panhandle. That's like a simple way to say it, but because it looks like the handle of a cast iron.
So
pan.
that stick that sticks up in the
You got
Oklahoma
it,
finger.
yeah.
So that's the high plains. I didn't know. Okay. So
Yeah.
so what, the Lubbock and up, I guess? Just
You got it.
all right. Okay.
And the Pecos River used to run through there, which is where they grow all the heirloom cantaloupes, but it's all dried up now. So it's not surprising that they would grow these Italian roots there because of the soil content is so mineral rich because of the riverbeds. Yeah.
It's super interesting. I mean, I got my hands on this at work, and no idea what to expect from it. It was super good. It's totally not like an Italian Sangiovese at all. It's super juicy. It's super like light and easy to drink. It's really tasty.
Nice.
So
I think like I wonder if it's almost like, because I love young Brunellos. They're like a feisty brunette. So I
mean,
wonder if that's like
they do other Italian grapes out there too. I would look into Austin Winery. I mean, it's Austin Winery because I'm sure their store is there, but I think their vineyard's actually out in the high plains somewhere. But it's called the Awesome Winery, and it's, I mean, again, this one was really good, and they had some white, I forget what we had, that was really tasty.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy because, like, just straight, if you take the Panhandle and you go straight down south, then you're in Central Texas, which is actually what we call Hill Country.
Okay.
And Hill Country is like where Austin is, and like where actually a lot of the areas that kind of remind you of like the California coast and even parts of France and Italy. That's also very mineral rich, and so they grow a lot of grapes there. So there's lots of small, like, mom and pop wineries. But actually, funny story is that, like, during the big, there was a fungal plague of French wine roots, and so Texas actually donated a lot of their roots to France to propagate and to bring their wine back to life again. So isn't that cool?
I think there's like a whole second wave of like Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas wine coming up soon. Because when I talk to people in Arizona too, they had this huge, it was like a massive wine culture. And what's his name from Tools out there, putting his name on it.
Maynard.
But Maynard's out there, but there's 100 other people doing it too. Like when I was talking to those guys, they were saying how great it was to grow the grapes there and how it was very similar to like France. And I was like, that's crazy. I guess you never think about it because it's like, well, it's Arizona. You don't think about that. But same thing, like you're right, it's very mineral rich soil. Why would it not, why would something not work there?
Yeah, we don't have the elevation, so the wine just ends up being cloyingly sweet.
Yeah, I mean, that is true. But that's part of the terroir. That's part of the beauty of that area, right? It's really, it's not as sweet as New Jersey wine where they literally just take grapes, like Concord grapes, and add sugar here.
Yeah.
It's actually all the jam. It's all the jam that they make and they put in the jars. They drag out the tilt skillet at the end and just add water and let it ferment. That's New Jersey wine. That's what I consider all New Jersey wine.
I like Jersey wine.
It's terrible.
But yeah.
So we got the high plains, and then the hill country is what you're saying, like the center, like the middle, the center column, pretty much. Okay.
And that's like barbecue. Like that is the Bermuda Triangle of delicious barbecue, which is like Lockhart, Austin. You've got Salt Lick, which is out in Driftwood, and they've got like that big old fat dino rib. But they do it real proper out there, and it's just killer barbecue. Pit style, like you said, Post Oak, Offset. That's pretty classic. I smoke myself, so I make brisket pretty often, and it's sort of part of our culture. It's like a Texas thing. And beef reigns king here.
Yeah, so. Beef is the thing in Texas. That is for sure. That's like I said. I was gonna get some barbecue from out here, but the one place by me, I was like, this doesn't even count. Like this is disgusting to do. But so let me ask this: like barbecue being part of the culture in Texas, which is for sure. I think no one's gonna question that.
Yeah.
Like, let me ask: are you? And you said, is everyone burning wood? Is everyone burning post oak, or is there a lot of people using like electric smokers or pellet grills and stuff? I'm curious about that, just because I was looking into it.
We have a lot of time to kill here, so it's like always classic to do a like offset or pit style. That's very Texas. Pellet is not too common unless you're in the city.
Right.
So you'll see a lot of pellet and electric if you're like in Dallas, like where I am.
Sure.
And it's like meh, but you see a lot of people here, like a lot of folks doing here. Texas Monthly just actually released like their top 50 barbecue joints, which I mean, in essence, there's really like only like 50 noteworthy ones, but like the top 10, like one of them just came out of nowhere, but it's called Goldie's, and it's 5 guys that came from Lockhart, Franklin, Salt Lick, all these like really amazing places, and these young kids are like only in their early 20s, and they opened up this restaurant in Fort Worth called Goldie's, and it just swept, and it was like, it's killer. So now you like can't even get in.
Yeah, of course.
But you still have Snow's on the list, and Tootsie's still doing her thing with the brisket. We have a place here called Cadillac, which is just this guy who decided to retire, and he was like, I'm just gonna start making Q on the side of the road. Then he opened up a brick and mortar, and so that is killer. And I always get the point.
Right.
I like that fatty brisket, but they just run out by noon, kind of thing.
It's so crazy.
1 day a week.
Yeah, no, it's so crazy. That's like the part of the culture. And I only ask about the pellet things. I know like up here people do it, but no one up here, no one in the Northeast that I know has like a stick burner. No one's doing whole fires because it really does take your whole day up. And it's just funny because that's part of the culture there, as opposed to here. It's just like, no, we gotta start it overnight while I'm sleeping. And when I wake up, I want brisket by noon, and then we're moving on to the next thing. Down there, it's like, no. We're setting a fire. We're hanging out. We got all the time, you know?
You just set up a little chair, a lawn chair, and a 6-pack, and when you kill the 6-pack, then you take a nap.
Yeah,
Come back
I was going to say 6-pack. It was a small brisket with a 6-pack. Is that a ribeye in there?
Yeah. We do smoke ribeyes. We smoke all. We smoke bird.
Of course. I see people smoking steaks. I never got it. I was like, I guess I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it's super delicious. I mean, I'm sure I've had one too, but like, I always just think of it as like steak. I just want seared, hard fest. I never think of it adding smoke. But again, I'm sure it's delicious. I have no doubt.
Yeah, I think one of your folks in the chat said Heart 8, which is out of Stephenville. There's like multiple ones now, but they started doing the ribeyes straight on the pit. Really, really nice. Yeah.
Heart
Super
8.
Good.
Yeah. I want to do a Texas barbecue tour so bad, but I feel like
you have to.
I feel like it'll just consume me. Yeah, I need to get down there. I know. I need to get down there.
We'll get fat and happy.
Oh God, there's so much Texas to be seen. And so, like, okay, so we got the the North Plains, we got the column in the middle, and what and then
Central Texas.
So Central Texas. Then out to the east, we have like Houston on the south. And then what about the west? Like, what is outside? What's the other weird handle?
So the west side, it's like classic West Texas, which is like basically from Midland, Odessa on to El Paso, and that's where it kind of gets like very, you know, when they use the term spaghetti western, we talk about like Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino. They love that area because that's like Marfa. That's like where all of the movies are filmed.
That's where Dusk from Dawn was taking place.
You got it.
All right. Okay. Yeah, I definitely got to get.
It's kind of crazy because East Texas is the complete opposite. It's the Piney Woods,
right?
And it's like where Matthew McConaughey is from, and Woody Harrelson, and all those folks, and they, you know, there's a real Southern drawl. Like if you ever know like a proper Texas accent, it's like you know it's Matthew McConaughey, and that's like the East Texas drawl, which is really really nice. And then you got the coast. The coast is like basically from Shreveport on down to Corpus.
Right.
That's like south of Houston, and that's basically where we call it the coast, but it hits the Gulf, and we're neighbors with Louisiana, which is awesome because that's where all the good gumbo and etouffee comes from, you know, and the proper boils and the catfish fries that we have out there. And then of course there's the border, and the border is anything that hits Mexico. Brownsville.
I mean, it just seems like there's so many different regions. Like you could go you could spend a week in the east side and not see everything almost, it seems like.
You got it.
Is that why you guys are always threatening to leave? You're like, well, look, we got everything down. We got the coast. We got Louisiana's right there. Mexico's right here. We don't need anything. We don't need anything Oklahoma or New Mexico has to offer.
It's called the Great Nation of Texas. That's what Texans refer to it as.
I think that's right. It is. It's not like a Commonwealth or whatever. It's like the Great Nation of Texas.
It truly is.
So does everyone drive around with a gun down there? Is it all stupid? Is it like they say? Is it just people with rifles in their pickup trucks and everything?
Yeah, mostly pistols. It's like everyone's packing heat. We call it packing heat. That's why you don't road rage down here because everyone's packing heat.
I don't think it's road. I mean, I don't see. I guess people are always. I guess I'm actually used to it because I saw a dude today yell at a car at somebody, and I was like, I didn't even think about it. But now that you say it,
it's true.
Interesting. So let's see. Hey, subscription.
Stank 2K just subscribed.
Oh, thank you, boss.
Stank.
Let's see. So we got that. We got the pin.
Just subscribe.
All right. So that's a good layout of the state. And so Austin is like the city that everyone is like hyped about, right? It's super hip. Everyone loves Austin.
Yeah.
Is it? I mean, I've never been on this place. Like, where would you, if someone's going into Texas for the first time, before we even talk about the specifics of the food, where would you send them to go? Where would you be like, you're here for a day? What's the day?
Oh, just a day?
Yeah, I guess. Like, if you're landing, but you don't have to be in an airport. Like, you could get dropped any one spot, I guess.
I would say definitely Austin. It's really cultured. There's music, tacos, barbecue, good folks. It's a college town.
Yeah.
There's UT down there. It's got a lot of outdoor beauty. And I don't know, it's just rich in culture, and it's pretty. When you talk about the difference between Republicans and Democrats, like it's very democratic down there. It's quite blue, so
that's what they say.
It's good for all folks. And there's like outdoor life is a big thing down there, so you can go paddle boarding, you can do whatever. But the music scene's where it's at, because that's where I used to go to South by Southwest every year, and now it's too saturated, so I don't go anymore. But man, it's like good times.
I'm excited. I'm excited. I gotta get to Texas. So So, all right. So let's focus in on the beer and the food a little bit.
Yeah.
So again, I got some Shiner Bock because I couldn't get my hands on Lone Star.
That's good.
Is
That's
that the
proper.
bit? I mean, is Shiner proper? I think I prefer Lone Star. I mean, Lone Star. I kind of love Lone Star. I think it's really good.
Lone Star is kind of one of those beers that you drink when you're sitting to get your ears lowered. You know, they always give you a Lone Star every single time. So that's
Get
kind
your
of
ears lowered.
Yeah, that's insane. That's like your haircut. You just got your haircut.
Yeah,
so.
I've never heard that in my life. Is that a Texas thing, or is that just I'm a dope?
It's a pretty southern thing. It's like
all right.
Get your ears lowered.
Get your ears lowered. Now, Lone Star's like, I don't know, it's like the bud of the South or something. Like, it's not particularly like, I don't know. I don't want to say it's not good, but it's not like a, I don't know. But how do you explain it? It's just a fucking generic
It's
crappy
we call
lager.
it a porch sipper.
There you
like
go.
If you're just gonna, if you don't mind roadie a cold beer and you just want to sit around with folks and not get too, toasted for like pre-gaming or whatever.
Yeah, because it's like
tailgating. Yeah,
it's like 4.5% or something. Oh my God, they have a Lone Star Light. That's insane.
Yeah, like why?
Yeah.
We used to have Pearl. Pearl beer was really big down here, but they don't exist anymore. Ziegenbock is the competitor to Shiner Bock. They're all just Bocks. There's big German culture.
Yeah, I get that because that's Shiner Bock. When I first had it, I was like, oh, and I saw it was like there's something about Germany in the back. I was like, oh, interesting, and then I read into it. Yeah, big German culture down in Texas, I guess.
Yeah, it's super good. And then, but our pride and joy is actually just outside of Austin, and it's an amazing brewery. It's actually the first real craft brewery in Texas.
Which one?
Jester King.
Oh,
Jester
yeah.
King.
A friend of mine, big beer nerd, anytime he goes to Texas, the only thing he travels for work a lot, and whenever he goes there, he always makes a pilgrimage to Jester King, fills up his bag with treats and brings it back, and it's always so good. Everything I've had from Jester King is legit fantastic.
Awesome. Yeah, and then of course now we have like tons of distilleries. So we're in the Bible Belt, so there's a lot of rules, and TABC has a lot of rules against like who can brew, what you can brew, and how you distribute it, and that's why it's kind of tough getting stuff in and out of Texas. But with this big boom of food culture, now there's like tons of distilleries and tons of breweries, and so like for example, like we make gin now, super good gin. I have a gin back here. It's like Austin Reserve gin. I made a Negroni for today.
Cheers!
It's so good. Yeah,
I love gins from other states. I think like that's one of the most interesting things that I've found through the show is that some states do have like gins, and I think gin is really exciting because if like there's a good distillery doing a gin and they're trying to do something that isn't just like let me make a Tanqueray, they make something that's like using local products, and it really does show off a little bit of like the vibe of the area, which I dig. Like I'll never forget the one from Alaska. They use like kelp and shit in it. It was so good though. It was so
cool.
clean. It's super cool. And like I love seeing there's like 2 other states that did that. I thought it was great. It's hard to find here, that stuff. Is there people down there doing that? Are they using like burnt ends in their gin? What are they doing?
Actually, it's kind of cool. Like there's one place called Balcones, and they're just right outside of Waco.
What's it called? I'll pull it up.
Balcones? Yeah, let me show you. This one is the Balcones Texas Triple Rye.
Oh, all right.
But it's really, really good. And they actually started making this one called Balcones Rumble, which is like a figgy kind of a rum. And all of their casks, they just put out, and a lot of barbecue joints are taking their staves and adding it to their barbecue, or they're like using the staves to
bourbon smoke up their
you got it.
Finish up their stuff with that.
Yeah, it's super cool. So nothing goes to waste.
See, I'll take a steak with that because you can't low and slow that. So give me a steak on some Balcones rum planks.
Yeah.
That sounds. Now
So
we're talking.
good.
That sounds.
I'll send you a bottle of Balcones Rumble because that stuff is like just fire. It's so good.
It's hard for a distillery to be good. I feel like it's like a brewery too. Like any new breweries that open, I guess it's easier now because the talent pool is larger. But when they first, at least over here, when they first started, you got to try a brewery and then try them in a year and try them in 2 and then kind of see where they're at, because it takes forever to learn your kit and your equipment and like the science and all. But there's a little bit. I don't know, there's ins and outs. I guess places do it better than others, but distilleries too. Like it can't be easy just to make a gin or a vodka that's good out the gate. That's got to be so hard.
Yeah,
As a small business.
They're making killer whiskey down here. So tons of Texas whiskeys, but one is like we only have one brand that's bonded, which is really cool. But yeah, that one's like the original, and lots of tequila here too.
Oh, of course,
So,
right?
yeah.
Just
Yeah.
right over the border. So
Tequila.
that said,
Margarita.
I have Desert Door Texas Sotol here.
Sotol,
which I'm going to get into. So I haven't had Sotol in forever, and I remember having it. I said it in the show. I had it at a Mexican restaurant by me where I used to live.
Yeah.
And he had so many tequilas. I love the owner. And he's like, oh, you're going to love Sotol. And I don't know. He just told me it was like kind of like tequila, but not. And he had 2 or 3 of them. He had one brand and it was not this. And I drank the shit out of it. It was so good. And I saw this little baby bottle of Desert Door, and now we're going to drink it. We're going to try it.
Desert Door's really good. Sotol, like we use it in what we call ranch water.
Yeah.
Have you ever had ranch water before?
I haven't had it, but I just thought it was tequila. But they use Sotol in
Yeah,
it?
it's so good. And it's just like, again, like a lot of people, when they would just pour it in like a little bit of Topo Chico and put it in a water bottle, a couple slices of apples and some limes and some tahini, and just sip it all day while they're working.
Yeah, that sounds
on the
fantastic.
ranch.
It's very refreshing.
Yeah, it's awesome. But yeah, Sotol's one of those things. It's like you can just drink like 10 effervescent fuzzy drinks, and you just feel like.
I mean, that's really good on its own. I mean, it's 100 proof. Yeah, I mean, it definitely tastes like. I don't remember what the one I had tastes like because it was. Let's be honest, it was a little blurry when I was drinking it, but I would always drink it when I got in there, and I loved it, so I got it often, so it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
This is very vegetal and stuff, but it's good.
Yeah.
I could definitely see that being good in like a ranch water situation.
Yeah.
Or just in this cup with some ice. It's going to be great.
Right.
So, all right. So what else? So you got a lot of distilleries down there. Obviously, the breweries are hitting. The Sotol. Ranch water's big. Packing heat everywhere. Barbecue is big. Obviously, barbecue's the thing. But what other kind of foods stick out? Like, obviously, is everyone eating? I mean, obviously, everyone probably eats barbecue down there. That's probably a silly thing to say. But what else is there that sticks out? I mean, I'm sure the Mexican food down there has to be off the charts.
Yeah, so we have like specific cuisines. One's called Tex-Mex, if you've ever heard of
Oh
it
yes,
before.
of course. We have fantastic Tex-Mex places up here.
Which is like, and when you go to Mexico and you order queso, they'll literally give you a bowl of shredded cheese, right? But if you go to Texas and you order queso, they'll give you this like ooey gooey melted like heaven with like rotel and pickled jalapenos, and like it's so good in a bowl of chips. So that's kind of like what we call our, appetizer is always, chips and dip here.
Queso's big. Queso's big everywhere there.
Queso's huge here. Yeah.
I forget what state it was. We were doing cheese and they were saying that, Texas that's the Texas thing. I was like, all right.
Oh yeah. I make queso pretty much once a week. So it's kind of our thing.
Make cheese.
Yeah. But also, another big thing here is burgers. Burgers are huge. Everybody likes burgers.
Well, you are the self-request burger queen, so yes.
I
mean,
the
that's
burger queen.
I think that's how we started chatting. You're the burger queen. So tell me about the burger scene down there. I mean, obviously it kind of goes hand in hand with the barbecue. Right? Barbecue's beef, big, so it'll make sense. What's the burger vibes like down there?
There's a huge debate whether or not we invented burgers or if it was invented at the World's Fair.
Yeah, I thought Germany. Didn't everything get invented at the World's Fair? I feel like we could just say that. Like, who's going to be mad at that? They can be so picky, Texas. You can't have everything. Jesus Christ. Just give the weird old World's Fair and say you made it better. What the hell?
But yeah, I mean, like here, the proper Texas burger always has, classic American cheese, fat beef patty, blended proper burger beef patty, pickles, onions. Call it a day. That's it. That's real simple.
That's what I like.
The ketchup and mustard. Super simple. Bacon optional if you're into that.
I don't need that on my burger. I'll eat it, but I don't need it on my burger. It's not my preferred method, but I'll take it. If you're making it and you're saying I want bacon, I'm in.
That's true.
So so that kind of goes back to the beef though, right? Like, so if that's the classic Texas burger, like beef is king out there. Is there ranches everywhere? Is there actual cattle down there? Is there real?
Yeah, sure.
Is there really high quality? Is there people that are taking pride in high quality beef down there? I guess that's a good question.
Yeah, there are. We're not to say that we're running out of land, but with the huge real estate boom here, a lot of the really great cattle is actually raised in Oklahoma.
Right.
So Black Angus is really big, and Wagyu, all that good. And they're growing them out. They're raising them out in Oklahoma because there's a lot of really great land out there to do it, grass fed and all those things. And yeah, there's a couple of farms that kind of split up and distribute out. Like Nolan Ryan, for example. example, the baseball player, he has a farm out here and one in Oklahoma. So it's kind of cool.
That
and he
sounds
raises
right.
cattle.
Yeah, for a place that does so much beef, I would feel like there's, and I'm sure there's like super hip places that say, you know, we only use, you know, whatever. And then I'm sure there's other places don't even tell you, but I'm sure they get great stuff because they've been doing it forever and they just get great stuff. I just always find it interesting people that highlight stuff like that, especially in a place like Texas where it's like, hey, we're all about the beef, but it's like, all right, well, tell me more. You know, what kind of beef? What are we using? I'm sure it's delicious either way, but you know, you want to talk beef, let's talk beef. So, all right, and the burgers are and the burgers. So that sounds like a pretty simple burger, really. The one you outlined.
Classic flat top or cast iron. Just classic, and then all squishy bun, home style squishy bun.
Kind of buns, I was gonna say.
Like in Mrs. Baird's, you know, you don't have to fuss with sesame seeds or brioche if you don't want to.
Simple.
Just get a classic. Yeah, the ones that you can squish or put your thumb in it and it just squishes all the way down. Yeah, that's the good stuff.
The potato bun is taking over on the Northeast. Every burger
I heard
place.
that.
The potato bun is the thing.
Smash burgers with potato buns.
Everything with potato buns. And potato buns are good, but the more and more I eat it, the more I'm like, well, what else can we do? Like, because so you're spoiled by it. You know, you're used to like one thing, and then you have that, and it's like, all right, well, now I'm like getting. It's like almost like brioche on a burger to me is too much. Like brioche is great.
Yeah,
you know, like
that's how I feel about pretzel burger. I had a pretzel
it's too
burger
much.
in New York, and I was like, nah,
it's too much.
Can't bite through it. You gotta you have to flip it upside down. You gotta like.
I want my pretzel to be a pretzel, and my fucking burger bun to be a burger bun. I don't like that. But again, if you say this is really great, is what I want to give you, I'll be like, okay, great, I'll have it. But,
sure.
The potato roll is a fantastic texture. It is really, really good. I like the one with the sesame seeds that they make because it's almost a little less sweet. Like the potato one has some sweetness to it. It's a little less sweet, and the sesame seeds are good. I don't know, but that's a big thing up here. I always find it funny barbecue places in the South versus barbecue places up here because if I go to a barbecue place in Texas and I get a platter, what do I get on the platter? Like if I order, all right, give me a brisket platter. Like what comes on it?
Okay, you always got to get 3 meats.
Yep.
3 meat plate, always proper. If you're doing family style, it's 5 meat plate.
All right.
You always get a pound of brisket, get fatty brisket.
Yep.
You always have to get jalapeno sausage. That's a classic.
That's right. The Texas sausage is a whole thing. That's right. I forgot all about that.
Oh yeah, big German culture. So we always have that good sausage, smoked sausage. And then you can have your choice between bird. We always have some sort of, yard bird, we call it, which is like chicken, smoked chicken, or smoked turkey.
Right.
And then every once in a while, you'll find some smoked pork chop, or a big rib, which is my favorite, which is like a bit like a beef rib.
That's short rib.
Like coveted, like a big old like a fat daddy one. You know,
there's a place by me that their barbecue is pretty good, but the best thing they do it once a week is the short rib, and they get the big short ribs. It ain't cheap, but it's so good because they got a legit smoker. They do it right. Their other stuff is fine. It's not. It's better than most stuff, but the short rib is the thing for sure.
Yeah, and they're doing some funky stuff here. They're like pastrami, short ribs, smoked short ribs. It's kind of really cool. So, and then every once in a while, you'll find some pork ribs, maybe, sorta.
Unlikely,
or
but
pulled
maybe.
pork. Not too common. We don't do a lot of pork down here.
Right.
So,
and what's like a Texas barbecue sauce? What would that be? Because everyone's got their own barbecue sauce.
So what makes Texas barbecue sauce different is it's slightly sweet, slightly spicy, but it has meat pieces, meat drippings in it. So everything that you do, like the runoff, like after you've chopped up all your
pour
meat,
it right in.
Pour it back into, or you can even take like just the end pieces, chop it up and toss it on in there.
So it's like a pseudo gravy. The barbecue sauce.
Everything's got
right.
meat. Everything's a meat sauce.
All right.
Like your chili.
When you say it that way, it makes a lot more sense. That makes so Texas sense when you say everything's got meat. It's like, oh, of course. It's Texas. So here's the thing, right? If I get a plate of barbecue in New Jersey somewhere, or New York, you get all these great meats, and the sides, of course. Sides are always great, right? Or depending on where you are. And then the bread that comes with it up here, without a doubt, is cornbread. I get really sweet cornbread. And nowhere, when I go in the South and get barbecue, I'm never given cornbread.
No, white
it's
bread.
always white bread. I've never seen cornbread.
Pickles and raw onion.
Yes, which is great, but I've never seen. I don't know where the cornbread thing came from, and it's to me like a sign of like, okay, this isn't real, but we're trying our hardest here. That's what that means to me. Because anytime I've had great barbecue, it's if there's no white bread on the plate, it's like, all right, cornbread, got it. I'm sure it's great cornbread, even if it's the best.
When you went to Sweatman's,
yes,
that was called. Did they have white bread?
They had white bread, and they made cornbread as like a side though. Like if you wanted it, was there. But when you brought your tray up, they just throw white bread at you. Like that's what comes with it. Cornbread,
yeah, because that's what you use to mop it up.
Yeah,
you know? Like
it's a vehicle. It's a utensil.
Yeah,
it's like naan and Indian food. Like you need that.
Yeah, exactly.
But
the
cornbread was
only corn you'll see is like maybe cream corn, maybe elote if they like are a little funky, you know.
Right. If you're at a Mexican
like corn salad
mashup kind of place.
Yeah, but cornbread is saved for catfish fries.
Yeah, I mean, I love cornbread. I'm not saying cornbread's bad. I'm just saying every time I get it at all these places, it's just like you eat it and you're like, this doesn't make any sense. Like it's dry, it's crumbly, it's a texture I want, not with this. Like it doesn't make any sense to me. It's totally a Northeastern thing. Like anywhere in New York, New Jersey, even if the barbecue's good, it's just you're not getting a slice of white bread, and you kind of need that. I
think we need to open up a barbecue, like a proper Texas barbecue joint in New Jersey.
I mean, I'm not for all I don't have is the Texas barbecue skill set, and the place, and the funds, and the people. So if we could bring all those things together, I'm totally in.
I can teach you. We'll be good.
Let's go. I'll take a pilgrimage.
And I'll even get that post oak shipped up to us.
I'll take a pilgrimage to Texas and learn the delicate balance of salt and pepper. They only use like salt, generally speaking, like right, salt and pepper. But come on, even everyone says that's it, but there's obviously more. Sometimes you put a little paprika in there, a little this, a little that. No,
just salt and pepper. No, and sometimes if you're like a little funky, you put a little pure salt in there. Give it a little extra color. Yeah,
I believe that. I don't know. I feel like there's more to it. Everyone says salt and pepper, but I don't know. Maybe could be. I just feel like sometimes there's more. Like when I had the Franklin stuff, I was like, "This is really good," but it just tastes like there's more than salt and pepper going on. But what do I know?
There might be a little secret.
Of course there is, but it's all right. I'm not asking for it. I get it. I'm just saying, salt and pepper's great. We all love salt and pepper. There's no doubt about that. So in the chat, he's saying you better talk about Whataburger. So that I guess brings that brings us to fast food and burgers and the whole thing. So the other thing about that's a good segue because like what kind of fast food is going on in Texas? Because there's got to be some stuff I've never heard of, and Whataburger I've heard of, but I don't know much about. Lay it on me. I'm sure you know all about Whataburger.
Oh yeah, what a burger! That's like the way you're supposed to say it. What a burger! What a burger! Whataburger is the like direct competitor to In-N-Out, and when In-N-Out finally made its way over to Texas,
In-N-Out is in Texas? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just recently got there, and now they're like duking it out to the point where like they'll have like I think it was during Oktoberfest, and they were both sponsored, and they had like stalls there, but they had both flags up, like a Whataburger flag and an In-N-Out flag, and people were like spray painting the In-N-Out flag.
Nice. I like that. I like dedication.
In-N-Out. But Whataburger is like it hits different. It's just something about it slaps because it's totally local. Everything's local.
So Whataburger's Texas based.
Yeah, super Texas based. Even like if you've ever seen like Duke's mayonnaise that's sold in like that giant, that's Whataburger. Like it's crazy. Like that's all 100% Whataburger.
What do you mean they use Duke's?
Yep.
Okay.
And also like spicy ketchup. Like they have their own thing, and like all the merch is like ridiculous. So
I'm looking at their menu. I'm looking at it now.
Yeah.
Whataburger
super
Junior.
Good.
Triple meat.
Yeah. And they do a funky thing I don't really like, but they chop up their lettuce, which I'm not a huge fan of. You can always ask for no lettuce, but they do like a
shredded lettuce.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
All right.
Yeah. But they have like, sometimes they'll do patty melts on big fat Texas toast.
I see that. They have a Texas toast
Super
thing.
Good.
They got a green chili bacon burger.
They have a breakfast burger. If that makes sense. Like, I would have a burger for breakfast.
There it is. Breakfast on a bun. Breakfast burger. Limited time.
So good.
So are they like In-N-Out in the sense where they're like, because In-N-Out is delicious. I mean, I had In-N-Out. It's really great.
Yeah, sure.
But In-N-Out, part of their bit is like it's not like they use grass-fed meat, but they have like their special cows or some shit. Like, they have some bit like that?
Nothing's frozen. Everything's
yeah.
Super
like
California vibes.
Yeah. So what's Whataburger's bit? They got a bit like that, or they're just like, nope, this is just a good burger. Deal with it.
Classic, simple, straightforward, Texas style burger, and it's like the proper size too. Like if you look at a Whataburger, it's actually wider, like it's like rounder. And,
it's hard to tell from these pictures on their website, but it definitely it shows wide for sure.
Yeah, and it's like a two-hander. You know, like I could straight up eat an In-N-Out burger with one hand, but this is like a proper two-hander, which I really like. You know,
it's like a 6-inch burger or something like that. It says
so
right here,
good.
5-inch bun, 5-inch patty.
Yeah,
classic Whataburger: tomato, regular lettuce, regular pickles, regular diced onions, mustard. All right.
That's it. Simple. It's so good. You have to come down here and experience it.
Yeah, I want. Oh, it says it's on a brioche. Oh no, you can upcharge to a brioche bun.
Yeah, no one likes that. That's for like the yuppies. That's for the yuppies.
I'm sure if they sell if they sell 4 of those a week, they've made their money. I'm sure. So it's probably worth having it on there. Mustard, mayo, honey barbecue ketchup, creamy pepper, creamy au jus sauce. All right, I'm intrigued. I mean, of course I want to eat this. This looks delicious. Are they? They're not only in Texas. I feel like I've heard. Is there a Whataburger in Vegas? I have to look.
They've branched out a little bit, but not too much. I don't think they've gone too far out of Texas.
I feel like there has to be one.
Maybe Tennessee. I'm not sure.
I feel like
I didn't even see one in Oklahoma, and I was in Oklahoma last week, so I don't know.
All right, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But Whataburger. So is there any other kind of fast food chains that are out there that we don't know about that I would have never heard of? Whataburger I feel like I've at least heard of, but
yeah. You know, we're really big on like just we mastered chain restaurants. Like Chili's stemmed from here.
Chili's is from Texas? I didn't know that.
Chili's is from Texas. That's right.
Maybe
Maggiano's, like they're all part of the same restaurant group. But I used to work for a couple of these corporate restaurant groups. So really big down here. Papa's Brothers, Papa Do's, Papa this, Papa that. Everything that's all from Texas as well.
Papa this, Papa that.
Yeah, everything.
The other thing that comes to mind, I think, when I think about beef in Texas, is like Texas Steakhouse is like a thing, right? So like, what is it? I don't know. Like if you were going to New York and you want to go to a steakhouse, I'd be like, you got to go to Luger's. Luger's is the place.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, there's 4 other ones that are great, and you can go there. But if you're like, you want the thing, like that's the thing. Like what's the one? Is there one? Is there a few?
Yes, there is. I'm trying to remember the name of it. I haven't eaten there in a long time. It's not YO. It's like it's like if you Google it, like Best Texas Steakhouse, it'll pop up immediately. But I forget what it is. But yeah, that's like kind of a real Texas thing, real big staple.
Texas Roadhouse. That must be it.
Texas Roadhouse.
Is that it?
There you go. Yeah.
That's not it. Stop it.
No. That's a chain. Yeah,
yes,
something else.
It's a chain. There's a Texas Roadhouse like a mile from my house. I'm not going to Texas Roadhouse. 14 essential Dallas steakhouses. Maybe is it in Dallas?
No, there is one in Dallas, but I can't remember.
It says Yo. Let's see.
YO Steakhouse. That's another one in Dallas.
Papa's really Brothers, good. Nick and really Sam's, good. Ocean Prime, really Bob's Steak.
Good. Very good.
Morton's.
Pretty good.
We're really dropping off after number 5
Del
here.
Frisco's.
Oh God,
there's
really.
like 1,000 steakhouses here.
Outback Steakhouse.
Like there's a steakhouse on every single corner. It's like Starbucks.
Yeah. So what? Well, I guess like from someone who lives in Texas, what is the difference between these cities? So Austin, we could say I could tell you what the difference is probably without even going there. But between Dallas and Houston, maybe, and maybe even San Antonio if it counts, like what's the like what is going to be the difference for someone who's there for a day? Because you know, when I've looked into going even to Texas, which I've never been, I was like, oh, I could fly to Dallas or Houston, and then all right, you get a car, I could drive either one. I was like, well, which one do I want to spend time in? Like, I don't even know I have zero knowledge of difference.
Yeah,
of either one, but they got to be different.
Big time, big difference. Dallas is super metropolitan. It's like it's Sports City. It's where all of like the swankier restaurants, big steakhouses, all the sports. Dallas Cowboys, big time. Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Stars, Mavericks, you name it, it's there. So that's where you go for business. Like that's where all the corporate businesses are. Like I work across the street from Toyota, and you know Amazon even thought about coming here. So, but then Houston is like really different because it's almost coastal, right? So you've got a lot of Louisiana influence. So the cuisine is
I like that.
Super, and there's a huge Vietnamese community there.
I like
so
that.
it's almost like California, like a slice of California in there mixed with that Cajun. So so you got that Viet Cajun, which is where you see all the crawfish places and like
I love
big
that.
time there.
That's
yeah, and
fantastic.
Baylor's down there. Yeah, so like Rice and Baylor, they're all in that area, and so you have like the college towns, but it's mostly and big time art. Like art is really big in Houston as well, and sports. So, but San Antonio, that's where all the rich history is. That's like the Alamo.
All right.
It's like the River Walk. It's super touristy. It's tiny, but the population is huge. And there's a lot of Latin influence there. So it's really cool. Like each one, if you can go to every city, like major city in Texas, and feel like you visited a different state.
That's what I'm saying. Like it seems like it's completely
cool.
different. Like Dallas is like the big metro zone, like you said. That sounds right.
Yeah.
I love that Houston has like Creole Louisiana vibes because I love Louisiana. So seeing that bleed over,
yeah.
I love that.
Me too.
Oh man.
We have a lot of casinos like on the outlying border because we don't have any casinos in Texas, but they're all on the border states. So
so you could go literally a mile off the border and you're in a casino?
Yeah, once you reach Indian reservation land, that's where all the casinos are. So there's like Choctaw, there's like Shreveport, where there's a nice casino out there on the border of Louisiana and Texas. And Texas is filled with lakes. All the lakes in Texas are man-made except for one, which is called Caddo Lake, and it borders Louisiana and Texas. And it's super picturesque. Like it's kind of spooky, and it's got all this like beautiful like moss growing everywhere. And it's like they film a lot of movies there. But the rest of the lakes in Texas are all man-made. So, when you look at Texas, it's pretty flat until you reach about the middle of Texas, and it's really hilly. It's really gorgeous. So
hill country.
It's kind of cool. Yeah, topography in Texas is kind of all over the place.
Wacky. Yeah, it's a weird. It's definitely. It seems like its own little place. I mean, it's so because I'm looking at the Google map here, so I see that down, like you said, it's wooded down where it meets Louisiana, and you can see that it's like super dark color over there, and then it just slowly fades out until you get to Lubbock, where it's just desert or hills. I don't know, hills or desert, one of the others. Yeah, something. I need the topographical map here, but yeah, I mean. Yeah, that's crazy. I guess I never thought of it that way. Probably because I don't live there. I've never been there, but
everyone who comes here loves it. Everyone who visits here, they want to live here.
I don't know anyone. I don't know anyone who's been there that has anything bad to say about it. I'll put it that way. I feel like if I go to Texas, I gotta like get a car and spend at least a week and drive around. How long does it take to get from Dallas to Houston? Driving,
5.5 hours.
That's a 6-hour drive. Damn, that looks so close.
Yeah,
I guess.
And if you want to go to like the national parks, it's like a whole day. It's like 9 hours just to get to the national park.
Man. Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's a big state. So what's going on out in the middle of nowhere, outside of these cities? Like, what? Are there any cool little tiny towns, like just zooming in randomly here in the middle of nowhere?
Oh yeah, go to Marfa. That's where like all of those cool it's so like it's Instagram crazy now. Like every TikToker and Instagrammer goes to Marfa. But that's like I think on your last show in South Dakota, the guy was like making some sort of thing that looked kind of like a michelada, and that's where micheladas were created. We're in Marfa. Like you can go to a bar and like meet some sort of really cool cowboyish kind of guy behind a bar, and he'll make you a proper michelada because it's so hot there. I mean, it gets up to like 110 out in West Texas, so you have to drink like ice cold beer with a little bit of clamato in it
and ranch water.
Spices,
get your vitamins in. Yeah, Marfa looks tiny. I mean, there's a place called the Water Stop. I mean, a lot of art
they
places
have like
here.
the art installations. So it's like a Prada, it's all artsy.
Oh, right, the Prada thing in the desert. I've seen that. Now that you say that, that makes sense. Yeah. It's Marfa. Okay, it's so hip. It's so hip. This stinks, by the way. This is from Texas, but this is terrible. This Canteen lime vodka soda in a can. It's not great.
Oh, I don't know. I'm a little bit biased towards this pre-canned.
Yeah, I wouldn't want it. It was in my fridge. I didn't buy it, thankfully, but it's fine. I mean, it's like, I don't understand buying a vodka soda in a can or like seltzers. Like, just make a vodka soda. It's not really hard.
Yeah.
I don't really get it. But, to each their own. Some people like very simple things, I suppose. So in the land of just in the note of spicy because I have Texas Pete here.
Yeah.
Is Texas Pete something that's even done in Texas? Because it's not even made there.
No, the Texas Pete is like it's sacrilege. That's like a disgrace. Like,
Good.
I mean, because they even stole that name.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's really not great. What's the hot sauce of choice down there? Because you are like, to me, if I'm near Mexico, I want El Yucateco all day. Like, I just want that. That's all I want.
Oh yeah, all the taquerias here only use that. They also have like every once in a while Valentina because that's pretty common. I'm a Tapatio girl.
Tapatio's good.
Yeah, Tapatio is legit. And then if you go closer towards Louisiana, Crystal, which is like one of my favorite hot. I love Crystal.
Crystal's a good one. Crystal's got some great flavor to it.
I'll crush a whole dozen oysters with Crystal.
Oh, Crystal's good. Crystal and oysters is very good. The Valentina has an extra hot black label that's really good. If you've never had that. Yes, it's very good. It's not extra hot. I mean, it's not like it's crazy hot. It's just like Valentina, but better. It's just better Valentina. If you see that, get your hands on it. I remember my guy, Mikey, rest in peace, Mikey, brought that to me once. He brought me that and a big thing of Crystal. He said, you got to try these. And I was like, no. And I had them. I was like, they're so good. So good. The Valentina black label is super fire, though. You definitely want to get your hands on that. And Crystal, I think I still have. He literally brought me like a liter bottle of Crystal because he's from New Orleans.
Nice.
And he's just like, I don't know. We got to get the big one.
Crystal, that's Crystal for life.
Yeah. I was like, what am I going to, is this going to get better with age? What am I supposed to do with this, dude?
Maybe.
Like, this is a lot.
Separating and you're like, just shake it up.
I think I still have it. I mean, I used it the other day. I think at the buttermilk dredge.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's proper.
Yeah, it seems right.
Pickle juice.
Yeah, something. I mean, it's not gonna get better. I know that.
Yeah. I love it.
Well, I don't know what else to say. I don't know. Is there anything else in Texas we're missing? I mean, we covered a lot of ground. I don't want to hold you all night.
Nachos were created here.
Nachos were created there?
Yeah, in Arlington, Texas.
Is that true?
The ballpark. Yeah, no, it's super true. So like there was a Tex-Mex restaurant and like back in like the 50s or something. A couple of gals came in before the ball game and ordered, like they wanted like an appetizer and they hadn't really had any appetizers on the menu. So one of the cooks there, his nickname was Nacho.
Nacho, yes, I've heard that.
And he would make them like just basically almost like kind of like cheese crisps. He would take a tortilla, cut it up and like lightly broil it with some cheese on it and serve it as an appetizer to them. And it just caught on the name Nachos. And then all of a sudden, nachos became a big thing. So that's why you see it at every baseball game.
I love a nacho. But I think the original nacho though was like a chip and then melted cheese, like a jalapeno, like individual, as opposed to a slop, like which is delicious, but like a slop, like we do now.
I like a big old bucket of nachos.
Yeah, like a tin, like the tin of nachos is a garbage can nachos they call them, right?
Yeah, with brisket on it.
Yeah, of course, brisket, pork, everything left over from yesterday. Throw it in the layers, dump it.
Burnt ends.
Throw some avocado on there. $13 upcharge. It's great. Everyone loves it.
That's awesome.
Well,
you have any questions about Texas?
I don't know. I mean, the regions I really feel like I learned a lot. So one, thanks for that. Like because it's hard to find out about these states without talking to someone who actually lives there. The cities are interesting to me. You said the beef, they're outsourced in Oklahoma, but is there a lot of like, you mentioned the cantaloupes. Is there anything that they're growing specifically out there, like produce-wise?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, like we've got like, the watermelons here, like all the melons here are amazing, from cantaloupes to watermelon. Yeah, that's really huge because like, I mean, a lot of them are grown in Mexico now, but like that's one of the very rare crops that we have for an extended season. Peaches are like, I will fight anyone who says that like their peaches are better than a Texas peach because Texas peaches are the best.
I mean, people, I've heard the peaches in Georgia are great, and then the people in Georgia told me that you got to go to South Carolina to get good peaches. So I don't think anyone knows where good peaches are.
We have this cute town. It's called Fredericksburg. It's a real big German town, and it's right next to Stonewall, which is also where the peaches come from too. So that's really big here. We also happen to grow some of the best tomatoes out in East Texas. But there's a lot of seasons for some of our crops here. But we grow a lot of sorghum, corn, etc., and soybeans. We're actually the largest grower of soybeans that are outsourced to or sent off to China, actually. So I only discipline just because, you know, I have to do it as part of my job. But yeah, we grow a lot of soybean here, a lot of sorghum. So a lot of folks here, all the land here is private for the most part. And so most of the folks here, they will just grow crops just to be able to own the property as a farm tax write-off. But for the most part, yeah, and it gets harvested and they do some stuff with it. It's pretty cool. So sorghum syrup's really big down here. You can go to any chicken house, like a fried chicken joint, and you'll always see sorghum syrup on the table, which is kind of a thing here.
Instead of like maple, it's like sorghum syrup they'll pour it on. I feel like I don't know if I've had that. It's like super rich, right? It's like super dark.
Yeah, it's like a hybrid between. It's like if you're not big on honey, but you're not big on maple, sorghum's like perfect for it.
I'm big on both of those, so I don't know.
Yeah,
I like the grade B maple syrup, the brown, or they used to call it that. I think they rebranded it, but it's like the super dark maple syrup. It used to be called grade B. I think they changed the naming convention for whatever reason, but it used to be called grade B maple syrup, and when it poured, it literally was like the color of this bottle. It was like so dark and rich, and it had so much more flavor. I guess it was like, I don't know, it was like unfiltered. Like, I'm sure that's not the word, but they didn't do something to it, and they called it grade B, and it wasn't grade A because it wasn't golden and clear, but it was so good. So good.
I love that. Give me a little sludge.
Yes. Drag my fried chicken through some sorghum juice. It sounds fantastic. What else? Are we missing anything else? We got the Tex-Mex, obviously originating in Texas. Tex-Mex,
chicken fried steak.
Chicken fried steak. Is that common down there? I mean, I've heard of that. I would only imagine that came out of Texas.
Oh yeah, like if you go to eat brunch, like you have to order. That's the best hangover cure.
Chicken fried steak is not up in Northeast. Like that's hard to find. You're not getting that up here.
It's so good.
So what do they
Chicken
use?
Fry everything.
Is it like I love it. What do they do? They just batter and fry it like anything?
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it.
There's like a dredging in the end, you know, but it's heavy on the salt and pepper, which is real nice.
Is it like a super thin steak that's like cubed up, or do they use different cuts?
No, jacquard. Like you got to get a proper like really good is if you get like a nice sirloin or a ribeye. If you get real fancy, like if you go to Austin, they'll have like filet or ribeye, and they'll just jacquard the shit out of it.
Yes.
And then pound it out a little bit, and then dredge it, and then a proper way to do it, you have to pan fry it in a cast iron skillet. Deep fry if you're like in a pinch, but like and then you take the pan leavings and you make gravy with it.
What kind of fat are they using down there? What are we using in the cast iron pan? Is it lard?
Oh, if you
is it beef tallow?
It's tallow.
Yeah, I was gonna say beef. Beef is big in Texas. Tallow makes sense.
Yeah, like French fries. I fry French fries in tallow.
Oh, it's the best.
It's so good.
Tallow fries are the best.
You only live once. Like, come on.
All right, so chicken fried Chateaubriand restaurant in Austin. That's what I'm gonna look for. With,
chicken fried.
Yeah, chicken fried Chateaubriand with caviar on Fritos. Caviar on Doritos with bubbly service.
That sounds amazing.
And tableside, what's a Texas Caesar salad going to be like? You got to have a tableside Texas Caesar.
Texas Caesar, like
I'm just thinking classic steakhouse. What would it be? Like, we've hit the chicken fried Chateaubriand.
It would have to be like smoked romaine, like a heart.
I don't like that. I'm out. I'm good. I'm good on that.
We're not big on salad, guys.
Or vegetables. There's no vegetables or salads.
Every time you go to like a proper Texas restaurant, it says like Texas vegetarian. It's like all the fish and the birds.
It's just fish.
Like
that's it. There's not one there's not a cauliflower steak. No one's.
No. And if you see vegetarian, it says like walk out the door like back there that way.
They don't care. They like just beat it. There's a place that opened up. There's a barbecue place open in South Jersey recently. I think it's called Wildwood's Barbecue, and they're Australian barbecue dudes, so they have a different kind of like mindset. And one of the big things that they do that's supposed to be very good there is this smoke. They call it pulled mushrooms, and I think they season the mushrooms, and then they just they smoke them, and then I'm sure there's more to it than that, but that's their bit, and apparently it's supposed to be good. And I'm like, I want a pound of that. I'm sure they're fantastic. Smoked.
I've heard of that where they take oyster mushrooms, which are like super meaty on their own. Smoke those guys and shred it up. Like that's like vegan pulled pork right there.
I don't know their method, or I haven't had it. I drove by there, and sadly I didn't stop to get anything because I was afraid I would have just stayed there for a while, and I didn't do it though. But I do mean to get down there and try it because that is the thing they do. But yeah, not so much for the vegetables in Texas, huh?
No?
You said tomatoes though. There's not even like a tomato salad you can get somewhere.
Nope. Maybe an onion ring.
Yeah, get yourself a fried onion ring or perhaps a tomato for your burger. That's as vegetable as we get. All right, so I mean that makes sense. The Texas, the Austin Steakhouse would have chicken fried cheddar bouillon and 0 vegetables. And what else did we say?
Caviar.
Yeah, Dorito caviar. I think Doritos.
That's right. Dorito caviar. Yeah.
And bubbles, champagne bubbles. Hopefully, the Austin Winery's making some pet
Yeah,
nats.
you gotta get the bubs in there.
Yeah, some pet nats from
yeah.
Austin Winery. All right, well, I'm gonna copyright that. That's a good one.
Put that in your little book.
Yep, I'll put
But
that.
yeah, other than that, anytime you visit Texas, you got to get a pair of boots and you got to get a Stetson.
All I want now, this Stetson I got. This is a legit Stetson that I think my mother had when I was cleaning out their house when they moved. She had it in a box, and I don't even know why or how. She didn't even know how she had it, and I was like, I'm taking that. And this is the first time I got to rock it. It's fantastic. It's a legit Stetson.
It's real proper because it's nice and high.
Yeah, it's a legit.
High,
I mean, it doesn't even say Stetson, and it doesn't really fit my head, but it's fine.
Yeah.
It's okay. I got a big head. It's all right. But I would love to go to Texas, do a big Texas tour, and put on the boots and buy the right boots. Where do you go to? Is there like a boot place, or is there many?
Yeah, like there's Lucchese and there's Nakona. I have a pair of Nakonas and I have a pair of Lucchese's, but if you go to the actual boot maker, most of the boots are made in Mexico, but sometimes you can get some special ordered.
No, where's the guy making? I want a guy making boots in Texas.
I know.
I guess that's actually.
I got mine in Nakona, which is like just outside of this Munster, which is like actually like delicious if you ever had Munster cheese. It's like that paprika.
That's from there?
Cheese, yeah.
Wait, Munster cheese is from Munster, Texas?
Well, it's German. Well, the addition of paprika is a Munster, Texas thing. Yeah.
Oh shit! I had no clue.
Yeah, and it's really good on a burger. So.
No, Munster's a cheese is like I think I've heard it called a cheat cheese in Italian restaurants, like like a pizza place in New Jersey. Yeah, if you just go to a pizza place and you order like a chicken parm or something, and they whip it up and figure it out. They use Munster cheese because they won't have like fresh milk or something like that because it melts so well. So if you put it on top and put it underneath a burner, it turns it just like you can't. It doesn't taste like anything when you melt it. It's just gooey. Yeah. It doesn't have like a flavor profile really.
I love that. That's like,
so if you Munster up, that's like a New Jersey cheat, like the New Jersey pizza places. You could take like a chicken cutlet, sauce it, hit it with the Munster and a bunch of parm or parm after, hit it under the broiler when it comes out boiling, hit it with the parm because then it's just like parm flavor with melty.
Oh my
indiscreet flavor. Yeah. Because it really melts well. It's a fantastic melting cheese. It's my number 2 burger cheese, Munster.
Yeah, super good.
Yeah, it's American and Munster because it has its own kind of flavor, but not really. It's like very delicate.
I like the melty cheeses for the burger.
Yeah.
I put a Havarti on a burger once, and that was like super buttery. Oh, so buttery.
I also don't like cheddar on my burger because it's too greasy.
It's super greasy and it gets that kind of weird skin.
Yeah,
and it's like weeping.
I like cheddar cheese. I like all the cheeses. I like brie. I just don't want it on my burger. I don't.
Yuck. Don't get gorgonzola and brie away from my burger.
I don't want those on my burger. I don't want a black and blue burger. I've eaten them and I've enjoyed them, but I don't. That's not what I want. I don't want that. I've grown up. I don't want that anymore. Swiss is even questionable because if you're getting real Swiss, it gets that cheddar thing where it gets greasy and it's weird. If you get like what they call Swiss, it's like American really. It's just processed Swiss. That's fine. That stuff's great.
Yeah. Or like that baby lacy kind of stuff, So the holes are so small you can't even tell.
That stuff's good though. Yeah, and it's got like the grease is coming. Gross. Yeah, I hate greasy cheese on a burger. Nothing will ruin a burger with greasy cheese.
Right, because mouthfeel.
Very sad. Very sad. All right, what else are we missing about Texas? Well, I'll talk about burger cheese all night, but that's not helping anyone.
Golly, so much about Texas. You should come and visit. For sure.
I'm definitely going to come. Texas is on my list of places. I'm going to be in Arizona soon, and that's close, but not close enough. But I'm trying to get my visiting in next year. So next year, Texas is definitely on the docket. So I come out there. We're gonna smash some burgers. You show me some barbecue places. It's gonna be great.
Of course, I'll take you on the barbecue tour.
Yes,
you'll be like 10 pounds, 20 pounds heavier.
I don't need that. All right, so I'm gonna work on it now to get in shape by the time I get to Texas.
Well, just eat power bars. For
that's it. Maybe Cliff bars and water and tea every day. And so tall. Let's get my tolerance up so I'm ready to party when I get to Texas. Chef, thank you so much for joining. That was fun. I'm going to cut you loose so you can go get back to real life, and I'll finish up the show. Thank you so much for your Texas knowledge.
All right.
Thank you.
Y'all.
Have a good one. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, who's better than her? How good was Chef Knock? How good was that? Fantastic. From the core of Texas, deep in the heart of Texas. Texas born and raised. Chef, beer knowledge out the gate. Booze knowledge out the gate. Fantastic beef burger knowledge. We talked about Whataburger. We talked about the regions of Texas, which was great. To be fair, I did know nothing about the differences. When I did look into going to Texas, the one thing I didn't know, and the one thing I knew, was I did need to go to Austin and hang out. Because Austin's cool, right? You gotta get to Austin. But you can only fly into like Dallas and Houston, I think it is, easily. And then you gotta kind of figure out which one you gotta go to. So you always got these questions. It's like going to Spain. Do you go to Barcelona or do you go to the other one? What is it? Barcelona and Madrid. You fly to Madrid, you fly to Barcelona. Texas is kind of like that. You fly to Dallas, you fly to Houston. Where are we going? We don't know. I think we rounded it out, though. We did pretty good. We hit the Frito pie. She confirmed that. Texas Pete's garbage. We kind of knew that going in, though. I just wanted to have it because it said Texas Pete. You can go by Texas Pete. We're good. We appreciate your... Glad you showed up, Texas Pete. Austin Winery, very cool stuff. If you could get your hands on some of that, I would highly recommend them. This Sotol is fantastic. I didn't really get to talk about this Desert Door. Let's dig into that for just a quick second. Yeah, Sotol. Very good. Texas Sotol. So again, like we said, they grow from, wow, very in-depth website here. This is too much. Sotol cocktails, huh? It's very vegetal in a good way. I like it. I don't know. I'm a fan. This is it. This is the original that we're drinking here. Let's see what they say. On the nose, our Desert Door Original is a lot like a premium tequila. I agree. With bright notes of vanilla and green grass. Yeah, it has like reposado vibes, but that's where the similarities end. Tasting reveals flavors like toffee, mint, and orange zest. Finishes custardy smooth, smoother than any tequila with subtle hints of sage. Yeah, very vegetal. Smooth, very, very smooth. Sotol's the next big thing. Lock it up, guys. Sotol's the bit. Kids are gonna love the Sotol. All right, we knocked out the Sotol. We talked about the Lone Star. Look at this. They have Lone Star Light. Like, this doesn't even make sense to me, but they got Lone Star Light. Oh, this is Rio Jade. High Desert Days. I don't know what Das Beer. Lone Star's making a lot of great, crazy beers. Good for them. Lone Star killing it. Shiner Bock is what we had. A delightful beer indeed. Canteen, vodka sodas. I don't know. You know, it's made in Austin. I don't know. Yeah, it's good if you're that guy in a kayak. If you're that guy in the website on a kayak, I guess you bring these if you want a vodka soda. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Austin Winery. Highly recommend it. Get your hands on it. I want to look right now and just see what other stuff they have here. They have something called Red Nat. I love that. Hill Country Roastos and Salt. Workhorse, Violet Crown, Cabernet. Very interesting. We were talking to Chef Knock about the wines out there, and she mentioned when France was having issues growing the wine, that they sent out some roots from Texas out to them to help out. I find it interesting that this corner of America here, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, which does not get too much love in the world of wine for sure, has the ability to grow these grapes. It's not surprising. It's desert, but you know, there are grassy areas. The mineral content's got to be really crazy. And let's be honest, that whole area used to be covered in ocean, you know, not too long ago. You know, the whole core of, you know, America, really, but whatever. My point is, they're growing great juice down there, so it'd be interesting to see how that grows. I'm telling you, this is really super tasty. It's not like a centuries you ever had, and I had some Arizona wines that were also fantastic. I feel like there's people down there figuring it out. I don't have the answers, but there's people down there in the Southwest making wine that are figuring it out, how to make some fantastic wine. So keep an eye on that, and when it's big in 10 years, come back and tell me I did something right. Frito-Lay, based out of Texas, fantastic. Thank you for the Fritos. Oh, let's get into the Frito pie a little bit. Take a bite. Crush it up. Take a little bite here. A little hollop. Ah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like nachos, but with Fritos and chili and... That makes good. Oh, this is Goldie's Barbecue here. On the website. Excuse me. Barbecue place she was telling us about. Friday, Saturday, 11 to sell out, which means it's sold out right quick. Must be nice to have a place you could open for 2 days a week. Beautiful pictures, beautiful looking barbecue. Brisket, pork ribs, turkey, house sausage, jalapeno, cheese sauce. It's simple to the point. $10 sandwiches, $15 half-pound brisket. Nice. Nice simple menu. I like that. Goldie's. All right, probably not getting in there, but great. And the nachos originated in Texas, we learned. Who knew that? Who saw that coming? Get in here one more time in this Frito pie. My Texas hat. I wish I had some Texas music. Sadly, I don't have any, but I don't know. I can't play real music. We'll get demonetized and all that stuff. Not that we're making money, but you get ripped off YouTube. Ah, John. Hope the show sounds good. I have the earbuds on so I could wear the old Stetson. Yeehaw, partner! Yeehaw, partner! Part of this episode is wearing the hat. You know, part of Texas is the hat. Now, like she said, get the boots. Go to Texas, gotta get yourself some boots. I am not wearing cowboy boots. I wish I was. But the hat's dope. Doesn't fit my dumb head, but the hat's dope. Yeah, Texas, I think we did pretty good. I think we did pretty good here at Texas. I can't stop eating your chili and your Frito pie. I'm not gonna lie. This is really good. I mean, there's something about Fritos. A Frito really is a beautiful thing. Number one, it's probably the simplest of all the chips that are made. The ingredient list on the Frito is 3 things: corn, corn oil, and salt. So if you're talking about purity and ingredients and products, I'm pretty sure you're not going to go past the Frito. That's pure. That's a pure chip. It's essentially a fried tortilla. Let's be fair. Fried corn tortilla. Texture is great on it always. Man, it's fantastic. Frito. I mean, I'm not going to start my chip show right now because there is a room for a chip show. But there's something to be said for the Frito being one of the greatest chips of all time. I feel like it has to be in the running. I mean, look at the ingredient list. It's impressive to me. I didn't realize. Corn, corn oil, salt. Yet, it's so fucking good. Consistently. Yeah, I love a Dorito. I love a Cheez-It. I know. I love an Utz pretzel as much as the next guy, but there's something about a Frito. There's nothing like a Frito. I don't think there's knockoff Fritos. I mean, someone's obviously trying to do that, but you know, to hit that Frito mark, it's got to be tough. So kudos to you, Frito-Lay. Well, you should know it's really good because goddamn, their company's called Frito-Lay. They're putting the whole house on the Frito being the move. I feel like there's a big future between Frito and myself. I feel like we need to hype the Frito more. There's not enough Frito love in the world. Frito's brand, it says, by the way. Frito's brand, the original corn chips. Not, we call them Fritos, but it says Frito's brand. So are they even called Fritos, or are they actually called the original? There's questions to be had here. We don't have answers. Should have asked the Frito-Lay correspondent, for Christ's sakes. It's called Frito's brand, It says brand. Why does it say brand? Like, it doesn't say Doritos brand when you get Doritos. Like, it says brand right here. No one else finds that weird? Why does it say FRITOS brand? I think these might be intended to be called the original corn chips. I mean, obviously we called these FRITOS, right? I mean, I'm not saying let's change the name, but maybe the intention was different at some point. I don't know. I don't know. And or care. I feel like we did good justice in Texas tonight. I feel like we did good justice in Texas tonight. Week 42, the great and powerful state of Texas in the bag. Texas, you're big and bold. You're always telling us you're going to secede from the Union, and Jesus, after looking at it, I don't see why you don't. You got coastlines, you're right up near Louisiana Way, you got hills, you got valleys, you got cities, you got people, you got hip people, you got old people, you got the Mexican food, you got everything going for you. I don't know what you're doing connected to us. You don't need anything from New Mexico, you don't need anything from Oklahoma, and you don't need anything from Arkansas. Maybe Louisiana. You might need some help from Louisiana, but they'll probably come real quick with you. Look, if Texas secedes from the Union, World War II parallel, like if Germany starts doing some shit, Italy's going to snap on real quick. Louisiana's joining right quick. Louisiana's going to say, fuck this, I'm in with Texas, baby. Louisiana is to Texas as Italy is to Germany in World War II. Put that in the book. We're learning a lot in this country. The corridor of mediocrity, right above Texas, Oklahoma, from Kansas and up. When Texas secedes, Louisiana's going. Don't be fooled. Fantastic episode. Thank you so much to our special guest, Chef Ducky the best. Much respect, much love. Much thanks to all of our guests. Shinerbach, TITOS, Austin Winery, Desert Spoon, So Tall, not so much the canteen, and Frito-Lay, of course. Bowl of Texas Red, make it the Frito pie. Fantastic. Texas, you're a great state. You're a great and powerful state. I hope you stick around. Can't wait to visit you. Can't wait to get in there. And that is week 42, Texas in the bag. The hat, cheers, yeehaw, howdy. How you doing? Is it like Italy where it's like buongiorno? What do they say? What's hello and goodbye? And I don't know, whatever. Week 42 in the bag. That's Texas, baby. Bring up 43. Where are we at? Oh, shit. It's week 43. Sorry. Texas 42 is Tennessee. I don't even know where I am anymore. Week 43, Texas. Boom. Out the sky. Week 44 on deck. Utah. The U state. Ugh, Utah. Followed by Vermont, Virginia, Washington, West Virginia. And the last two, baby. Wisconsin and old Wyoming. I don't believe this whole show ends on Wyoming. Let's hope Wyoming brings the heat, you know? I don't know. I had to update the book, sorry. Had a notational error. Week 43. Week 43, Texas in the bag. Shinerbach, your beers are great. Tito, thanks so much. By the way, the guy who made Tito's, his name is Tito Beverage. No lie. Austin Winery, fantastic work you're doing out there. So Tall, Frito-Lay. Much thanks to our special guest, Chef Ngoc. You're the best. Much thanks to everybody in the chat. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for joining us tonight. Texas, you seem like a very fun state. I can't wait to get out there and party. You like beef, you like barbecue, and you do it big. And that's what we like. You can follow me on Instagram at the Billy Vegas, at Hack Chef. You can watch this show and all other shows, previous shows, on bitsandbytes.us. On the YouTubes, like, subscribe, upvote, downvote, leave comments, share with a friend, click here, click there, affiliate link, click the thing, upvote, send an email, share. I don't know. You know, do what you gotta do. Or just watch this and say ha. Whatever. It's fine. It's not a big deal. Thank you so much for watching, guys. That has been week 43, Texas. We're going to see you next week when we make it to the very much landlocked, questionable state of Utah. Utah, we're coming for you. Thanks so much, everybody. Appreciate you. Have a good night.